say, every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission is...
Hello viewers, and welcome to another exciting edition of your program, Corruption Must Go. I am your host for today, Murna Barnabas Atiai. Job racketeering has become a worrisome, reoccurring trend in Nigeria. Many reports abound of young, unemployed Nigerians being asked to pay before they can gain employment. Today on the program, we shall be looking at the rot caused by job racketeers and the position of the law in the matter. But first, let us join Joy Aja as she brings us update on happenings around the commission.
Hello viewers, thank you for staying with us. I am Joy Aja with Anti-Corruption Stories. A Borno State High Court sitting in Maiduguri has sentenced a civil servant, Maji Shetima Arfo, to 28 years imprisonment for engaging in an 86.1 million naira contract fraud. Arfo, who was sentenced to jail by Justice Haruna Mshiela of Borno State High Court 3, was the general manager of the state-owned Maiduguri Flour Mills Limited, where he committed the fraud. He was charged on a 6-count charge by ICPC for offences bordering on abuse of office and conferring undue advantage on himself. The charge sheet showed that Arfo, while acting as the general manager of the flour mill between 2014 and 2020, engaged in multiple fraud in violation of sections 12 and 19 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, and punishable under relevant sections of the same act. One of the counts on which he was convicted revealed that he awarded multiple contracts to Falquat Multilinks Limited, a private company where he was a director, to supply diesel and maize to Maiduguri flour mills. Justice Mshela, at the end of the trial, found the general manager guilty of 4 counts out of 6 preferred against him and sentenced him to 7 years imprisonment on each count. The judge ruled that the prison terms are to run concurrently. In a related development, ICPC has docked the chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Honorable Adamu Mustafa Donze, for allegedly receiving 10 million naira kickback from a contractor handling construction projects in the area council. Honorable Donze was arraigned by the commission before Justice U.P. Kekemenke of the Federal Capital Territory High Court 4, sitting in Abuja, on allegations of corruption bordering on abuse of office and gratification. ICPC had filed a 6-count charge before the court in which it accused the area council chairman of demanding and receiving 10 million naira bribe from the director of Remotosh Construction Limited, engineer Aremu Omotosho, in exchange for approving payment for the construction of double-cell culverts in Paikokori. Honorable Donze, who had a bench warrant issued on him, pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to him. The warrant was subsequently dismissed by the trial judge after a plea by the defense counsel, Abdul Muhammad S.A.N. Justice Kekemenke held that the defendant cannot jump bail based on his current position. He therefore admitted him to bail in the sum of 20 million naira and a surety in like sum. The surety shall be an owner of a landed property with statutory right of occupancy within the jurisdiction of the court, or a federal civil servant in the rank of an assistant director and above. The matter was then adjourned for trial. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Welcome back. There has been reports of how some unscrupulous elements in government ministries, departments and agencies even go as far as fixing prices to different positions they have to offer, which sadly ends up being given to the highest bidder and not to the most qualified. This sad reality leaves our teeming unemployed youth with a blank and almost hopeless future. We spoke to some Nigerians who shared their thoughts and experiences with us on the issue.
Job racketeering in Nigeria is being engineered, or let's say it emanates from scarcity of jobs, because if there was availability of jobs, you have people going through the right channels, but then someone has graduated, he has stayed years in the house and is getting frustrated with the job hunt, which doesn't seem to be coming forth. So the next thing he thinks about is how to get it through the illegal means. Since the challenge, one of the main challenge we have now is that these jobs, some of these jobs, you don't even see any advert for them. There's no sensitization, no adverts on how to go about applying for the job. And even if they are available, they are being hoarded. So, and then people come to you, like giving it to you on a platter, you pay to get those jobs. So sometimes, even if you don't want to, you will not think about how difficult it is. You have a lot of graduates here and there, and the competition is very high. They've raised the bar in terms of working experience, in terms of qualification, and all those things. And when you know that you can't really beat much of these things, you just resort to, maybe if you have the money, you pay to get those jobs, and it's really bad because once you engage in that, you will be more corrupt trying to recover your money back, because you are going there like, okay, it's just like you campaigned for something, you moved all your money into it, and then when you're in office, you're trying to recover everything. So it will even affect your productivity, because all you'll be thinking about is how you are going to recover your money back. It affects your productivity again, because it's like you didn't have to go through the process. It's a job you're not even qualified for, and then you end up having it. You're not giving your best, you're just there because you know you'll be getting salaries, you'll be getting remuneration.
I just want to share an experience about job racketeering and some of the disadvantages of it. And I'm coming particularly from a personal story, not directly personal, but one that I'm aware of that happened to a friend of mine. Now, he had been unemployed for quite a while, so he was quite desperate, and then he met someone who promised him of a secure job opportunity with the Nigerian Correctional Service, that's the prisons, and then he paid some money. I'm not particularly sure how much it is, but it was quite a lot of money because of the job security that was promised. And then after a while, he got invited for what was like a camp, a training session, because they had to go through a 6-month training in Kaduna before they become fully employed with Nigerian Correctional Service. But on getting there, after he had paid, after he had bought his things for the camp, for the training, on getting there, after the first or the second night, a lot of them were called together, a lot of them were screened out of all of them that came, and then this group of people that were screened out were told that their employment was gotten from unverifiable sources, and as a result of that, they were dismissed and they had to leave the camp and go back home. So it was just a very sad situation, because he has gone back to ground zero again, where he is still unemployed, and then he has lost a lot of money trying to pay for the job, and then also the logistic cost of traveling from Abuja to Kaduna for the camp and getting a lot of materials that he was going to use for the camp. It was just it was difficult, and then the mental toll it took as well. So there are so many disadvantages of it, of sourcing jobs through the wrong channels. I know sometimes it may be quite frustrating if one is trying to go through the right channels and keeps getting disappointed just because of how difficult it is to find employment in this country. But regardless, no matter the case, there's still that risk of trying to get jobs through job racketeering or promises from unverified sources, and just the risk of going back to ground zero. I think it should be considered, and it makes the whole experience not worth it at the end of the day.
Well, I feel it's of no use paying for a job, because that same money you can use it to start a small scale business and make it, and also employ people to work under you.
Okay. Okay, on the part of government, what do you think government can do to help reduce this issue of job racketeering and people paying for jobs?
I think government should empower the youths in skill acquisition so that they can be able to do something meaningful with their lives instead of waiting for government jobs. That's what I feel.
The challenges we face, young people in the country, young people getting jobs, seeking jobs, it's beyond words that could say, because it's only the young people that will really tell you how difficult to get a job is in this country. We've graduated for a very long time, graduated, bought my master's and degree, and due to how demanding it is, people to get a job, you hardly even see the opportunities. And even if you get an opportunity, it is expected that you drop some things to get a job. And how could one seeking a job really afford that? The thing I can only tell young people to really do is, if you can just build yourself. At a point in time, I myself, I got tired of seeking job. And there are so many things I love to do. I love to lecture, I love to design, I love to be on the side. I have to improvise ways for myself to really get that done. I organize private tutoring service in my profession of architecture. I deal with private clients and things like that. So we can do the same. You know, as a famous quote that is being said, it's not about what your country do for you, it's about what you do for your country. I want to believe that the young people will come to that point that we will do something for our country, irrespective of what the country does to us. And I believe someday the world will change, Nigeria will change for the better.
I think the first way government can stop job racketeering is to reform the recruitment process, so that it then becomes that people go through the proper channels rather than going through illicit means or illegal means. And the second way is to create awareness, because most people may not be aware of the fact that job racketeering is illegal, because it's seen as a normality in society now. So a proper sensitization and awareness program should be raised by the government so that people understand. Then government need to properly supervise their staff, because their staffs are the ones actually controlling the recruitment process, and they are the ones recruiting people through illicit means because of their desperation for financial benefit through the process. So if government supervise the process for recruitment properly, they'll be able to prevent job racketeering in Nigeria. So I feel those are the only ways government can end job racketeering, or put a stop, at least halt it for the time being, or reduce the cases of job racketeering in Nigeria.
Have you ever paid for a job?
No, but my sister have before. She was a copper, so when she finished, she did her service at FIRS. So when she finished, she met a family friend, said he can actually help her work a job there, because the man has some connects and everything. So he told her to pay some of money, I think around 70,000 or so. He asked her to pay for it because she was family, so he told her that that's why he's giving her for that cheap price. So this thing took like 2-3 months. Initially, I wasn't cool with it initially, because I felt like, why do you have to pay for a job? If they are not employing, maybe you should try doing something. But then she paid for the job. She felt like the person was family, he was going to get the job for her. So after a while, we tell her to come for the letter today, come for the letter tomorrow. The letter has come, you pay 10,000 to collect your letter and all that. And it kept going on and on and on until he finally told her, until she kept asking, because it was family, so she kept asking that, okay, she doesn't want the job anymore, she just wants her money back. So she involved some family members until she got her money back.
Okay, so what's now your opinion, your personal opinion about job racketeering?
I just feel like it's very common these days, and like literally most coppers now, that's what they do now. Because I have some friends now, they are not done yet, and they're already looking for people that are going to help them get a job. So I feel like you don't have to pay to get a job. I feel like now people should just try involving more in establishing themselves, having businesses and all that, because of this whole thing that's been going on.
You're still watching Corruption Must Go. It is important to note that no government ministry, department or agency requests for payment of money into private accounts to secure employment. Some of you may be wondering what is the position of the law and what has ICPC done on the matter. A lawyer from our prosecution department tells us more.
Job racketeering, simply put, is somebody receiving money from a job seeker with a promise that he will offer him a job. Now, it could be in monetary form, it could be in other ways. If it is a woman and the person who promises the job may decide to say, you have to sleep with me, then he gives the job. And in most cases, even after sleeping with the man or parting with money, the job is neither here nor there. So that is the simple and a brief definition of what job racketeering is all about.
Okay, thank you, sir. As a lawyer, can you share with us the position of the law on this matter?
The law is very clear. Normally, the victim is not also supposed to give money or also offer, in the case of a woman, her body for job. However, the law is very clear. Either the giver or the receiver is culpable. But for us in the ICPC, and looking at the Nigerian context, you know, jobs are not easy to come by. So if somebody had left school for many years and the job is not forthcoming, he may be tempted to offer money. So, but we look at the other way around and focus on the person who is offering the job for money. Because jobs are not supposed to be for money. Jobs are supposed to be offered based on competence. So we focus on the racketeer himself. Most times it's a syndicate. This person say, A gave me this opportunity in his place of work, and that this is the social amount. So B will now go and meet the victim and collect the money. And most times A and B will share the money. Most times B will even benefit more than A, because what B may discuss with the victim may not be known to A in terms of the monetary aspect. Now, in the law, if the racketeer is a public officer, he got himself involved in that racketeering of job on account of his office. So he has contravened Section 19 of the ICPC Act. Then the law is also contravenes the Advanced Fee Fraud Act. That is the Advanced Fee Fraud and Other Fraud-Related Offences Act 2006, particularly Section 1, Sub 3. That is obtaining money by false pretense. Now, why I say false pretense? That job is not for sale. No federal government agency would want to put their jobs in the market for sale. They will only put an advert, say people should apply. So when you apply, you are interviewed and you are qualified, you are given the job. Now, for you to bring in a scheme in between to tell people that you needed to pay this money and get this job, that means you are obtaining that money under false pretense, because federal government is not selling our jobs. So that is what you need to tell the court, that these jobs are not meant to be sold. The fact that the racketeer sold these jobs, they are not ordinary jobs, they are jobs of the federal government meant for the people of Nigeria. But since he had offered money, and the law says federal government does not sell jobs, automatically for him to have presented to the victim that brings you some money before you can be given the job in question, that means he had obtained that money by false pretense. Now, it's also an infraction in the penal code, because he has cheated the victim, in the sense that where the money is offered but there is no job, then he has cheated the victim.
Corruption must go. It is worthy of note that persons who offer money or gratification in any form in order to facilitate employment during real or fake government recruitment exercises are as culpable as those soliciting or receiving such monies or gratification by way of scams or bribes. No matter how long it takes, such applicants who succeed in getting appointment will be found out and prosecuted. ICPC wishes to remind the public, especially those seeking employment, that the Commission will not hesitate prosecuting those who willingly lend themselves to or abet criminals to subvert recruitment exercises through fraudulent means. Similarly, persons and applicants who procure or present fake documents like forged or altered certificates, affidavits, recommendation letters for use during recruitment exercises face prosecution. That's our package for today. You can still watch all editions of this program on our YouTube channel, ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai.